Hello everybody, this is Tim from Mainly Muscle Cars along with cameraman Ken, and today we are stuck inside because the weather just sucks. It's not quite as bad as what some of you other guys are getting out there, but it's really dark and rainy, and in order to show this Bronco in the correct light, we need to be inside. So please excuse the cramped quarters, but we'll do our best to do a good job. Anyway, 74 Bronco, lots and lots of recent work on this one. Beautiful body. Paint was done by Mosslander's Rod and Custom, famous paint shop. Now this one was done just to be a good driver. It's not a show truck or anything like that, but very, very nice street driver. About as nice as you'll want and still be able to use. Underneath the hood, engine was done at Jim Green's. He was NHRA world champion back in the day, so he definitely knows his way around Fords. He's like Mr. 427 single overhead cam, so he definitely knows high performance Fords. We have a write-up on the build. It's a bit much to be able to put in the ad and to kind of go over in a video, so if somebody wants that, we have that information available and we're happy to go over it with you. Behind that 418 we have a ZF 5-speed. That's very heavy-duty 5-speed. It's an overdrive truck transmission, so you have all the strength you need in order to live behind that 418. Axles have been done by Randy's Ring and Pinion. We have the receipts for that. Those are 488 gears with the Dana 44 in front. Now that has stronger axles on it. Those are 4340 steel axle. In back, it's got 31 spline axles, and those are also upgraded. So new axles, new engine, new paint. Inside, the Bronco was stripped. That's been completely Line-X front to back. So nice heavy-duty coating, makes it really easy to clean. It's also really good looking. It's got Tom's Bronco seats in front and in back, and those are all the headrest versions. So in case, God forbid you're ever in an accident, you actually have some good protection from whiplash, as well as the rear passengers. Rear seats have new seat belts and such. A lot of updating has been done. We have all new lights all the way around. In back, you can definitely see those LEDs, much brighter than the factory lights. New marker lights on the sides. So all the lighting is nice and bright. Headlights, we have some nice projector beam headlights. Those are very bright as well. And those are all wired in correctly. So you don't have to worry about the systems, basically the lights blanking out on you. It's correct wiring harness system from Wild Horses. See, it's got nice bumpers on it, both front and rear. Looks like an Impact Series setup, so you can actually run a very heavy ring on the back. This thing should never get stuck, but inevitably everything does. So you can hook up and come out. You can also see that 23-gallon fuel cell in back. Nice setup. Lift-wise, it has a Wild Horses lift, and I believe that's a 3.5-inch suspension lift, and that's set up. It's got both dual shocks front and back. It has about a 2-inch body lift on it, and that's to help it clear that huge motor. And that motor is set up with an RPM air gap, so it's a very tall intake manifold. Excellent working intake as well. To kind of help out, get rid of those factory radius arms, James Duff setup was put on here. Now these are the Duff long arms, so plenty of suspension travel on this thing. Nice new arms, so it's got, those are Heim jointed in, they've got urethane bushings in front. Also from Tom's Bronco as their heavy duty rock steer setup basically, so that's a heavy DOM tubing. The factory steering on these, as soon as it's fine on factory tires, but as soon as you go a bigger tire, like 35s or 37s, it's really nice to have that heavy-duty tubing. Now this system has the Heim joints and stuff on it, so it's a nice, precise setup. Again, it has that nice bumper on the front, Wild Horses Guerrilla War flares for the fender flares on it. Just really neat. We can pop open the hood real quick. We'll take a look under there. It has the hydraulic lift setup on it, which is nice because if you were to try and have a prop rod setup on that, unless you're 6'7", it's not going to work. On top of that, you'll see it's got an MSD atomic fuel injection setup on it, which is really neat because this one actually will adapt no matter what your altitude is. So it basically is a constant self-learning system, so you don't have to go in there and reprogram it for every time you want to go to, go up on drive in the mountains or anything like that. It will actually figure everything out for itself. So it's a self-learning system. Combine that too, they also have the MSD ignition system, so it has that nice billet distributor, has the MSD capacitive discharge box. with that MSD atomic ignition, actually atomic fuel injection, there's also another readout for it, so you can monitor everything inside the cab as well, just in case there was ever a code on the engine and you needed to figure out why it wasn't running right. It's just a handheld deal. You pop it out, you plug it in, and you're good to go. You can actually tell, whether you have a cylinder misfiring. It can tell you that. Just a really, really handy tool to have. Option-wise, power steering, power front disc brake setup. Very, very critical to have on something with tires like this. You really, really need to have that additional braking. Those disc brakes really work to help haul these 37-inch tires down. It's kind of crazy to go drum on a setup. Also, power steering works really nice. You can see that upgraded aluminum radiator there too to kind of help keep this thing cool. Edelbrock aluminum heads, those are a Victor head, and again, there's just tons and tons of information to get on that for you. So if somebody needs something specific, we're happy to get it. It has JBA long tube headers on it. It's a dual 2.5-inch exhaust system, and this thing has very, very low miles on it. In fact, we're still trying to work, get the whole fuel injection system and computer used to the motor. It's running a lot better now, but it basically learns as it goes. So we'll go ahead and we'll fire it up so you can listen to it. We won't run it too long, so I don't want to kill poor Ken there. But looking inside, you can see it's got the nice door panels in it. Nice Tom's Bronco mats. Again, the whole interior's been Line-X'd. Here are those nice seats. It has a twin stick setup for the transfer case. It's a Wild Horses setup in this one. From Classy Chassis, they do really nice instrument restorations and custom instrumentation. Kevin over there did a really nice setup for us. It's a white face gauge. You put that Bronco script in there for us. Rebuilt the whole setup. Recalibrated gauges. Really, really nice setup. So even if you're not shopping for this Bronco and you're looking for a nice gauge setup, check those guys out. It's got white face Equus gauges in the dash as well. All the heater controls work. It's got that Sport Comp tack up front, and this thing does rev like a trip hammer. You probably heard that. I wish we could take it out for a test drive because this thing is it's a monster. Power output should be someplace right around 550 horse, and when you're talking, you've got a 10-foot or 8-foot wheelbase. It could be a handful. It's a lot of fun to drive. But the cool thing with that ignition and the fuel injection is it really is a pussy cat. Anybody should be able to drive this thing. You should be able to take it anywhere and not have an issue with it. Again, just a really, really neat truck, kind of head and shoulders above most other Broncos out there. We kind of joke around. We call this one the Icon Bronco. Just kind of making reference to the Icon. Of course, this thing isn't an Icon Bronco, but again, it's about a third of the price, if that. Any questions, please give us a call. Our phone number is 360-863-2241. Or you can visit us on our website at mainlymusclecars.com. I think we have 7 of these in right now. This is kind of like our flagship Bronco. But we do have some really nice Broncos. Ken's kind of pointing. We're back in the shop right now, so I can kind of show you some of the different stuff. But I think we got most of the other Broncos outside. Anyhow, give us a call. Check us out. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks.